Hey guys, welcome back to Monster Train. And today I'm gonna go over the patch, even though it's a little bit late here, but the patch has been out for a couple of days, but I will go over it and then just to show you guys who are watching or catching up with the most recent Tournament 5 hosted by Never Nathaniel, the 5th tournament of Monster Train. So I will go over some of the cards that have been changed and what's been changed from the previous tournaments to the upcoming 5th tournament. So just a quick plug is that I'm also participating in this new tournament. So as you can see on screen right now, I have been put in the Group A. Group A, I think it's Room 2. We'll be looking forward to playing in that tournament on Saturday, I think. So yeah, let me go over these new changes here. So this is quite a large patch, balanced a little bit here and there. I will also go over at the end of this video some of the changes that I'm looking forward to in the upcoming patches. I know that they have I know that the devs haven't been updating the game as frequently as previously when there was the mutation patch, the free updates, and then the DLC. Like it was pretty frequent throughout this whole year of Monster Train. But now I know that they are maybe are working on a new game that is also related to the Monster Train. Looking forward to that, but don't take my word for it. Don't quote me on this, but maybe they're making this new game. I'm not 100% for certain that they're doing that, but hopefully they are. If not, patch some more Monster Train. Anyway, so let me go over this update first. Champions. So the Decayer, we have the Spine Chief, Decayer and Infector. They're both buffed. Stats have been changed. So a little bit these buffs, the Decayer health increase is very needed, I think, because I'm losing my words here. The reap happens at the end of the turn, so you have to tank the damage from the enemies before you can kill the enemies. So yeah, so you need the extra health in order to survive more turns. Maybe more turns. Maybe you get your sustain, you get your health, you get your heal, you get your divine damage shield, you get your life steal, all that stuff. So that's really, I guess, really needed. And Firelight, Little Fade changed, and Eternal Flame, Little Fade got changed, got nerfed. I mean, as expected, Little Fade was really good. It is the only champion that scales that scales damage in this new patch. So not in this new patch, like in the DLC, because previously when you're just facing the seraphs, you only needed the damage, enough things to kill the seraph. That was it. Now you need scaling, damage, sustain. Like previously that was all part of it, but right now it's more emphasized that damage scaling and quick damage scaling is needed against the last divinity, because you need to get your damage out, because I mean wave 1 you have 370 health or 385 health units, along with some little chomps at the back, and you need the damage to to come in like really quickly, really soon. So Little Fade was really good because she can scale the damage really quickly. By turn 3, she can already scale, like if you go rank 3 Internal Flame, by turn 3 she has 180 attack with quick on a single target. So, and basically that is just one shots any front line, and then you have your other units dealing with the other enemies. But now, and of course, the Firelight, it's like I have been praising this pass a lot. I have been winning like 300 something pack shards runs because of the Firelight. I have been winning. I won the War is Hell expert challenge. So this expert challenge at the end here, War is Hell, I won this one using Little Fade and Awoken. Not Awoken. Stygian. So this combination, I won War is Hell and using the Firelight Little Fade path because that path like scales all your units really quickly, really fast, and like you get those damage out very quickly, and then you can start killing the enemies. Like also the Melting Remnant has stealth. They have reform. If something dies, it comes back. No worries. There's no worry about any of your units dying. They just come back and they hit it again. And then the attack that got increased, they don't disappear after the unit dies. This attack buff is not permanent, but like stays for the whole battle. Very good there, and really good against the last Divinity. It's probably a guaranteed win if you can survive the early game. Like Little Fade, I think Mountain Remnant in general is really bad at the early game, but yeah, it's really bad at the early game, but that's their like downside to it. But if you can survive the early game, the late game is very easy, just almost a guaranteed win if you can play your cards correctly. So, moving on to the next one, spells for the greater good. Got changed. It now summons randomly summons 1 of 6 1 capacity angelic units to the front of the floor. So I mean, disappoint some folks. Yeah, I mean, it's really disappointing that you can't just bring like the mini bosses at the last Divinity. You used to be able to just bring those mini bosses to your side, and then you dealt with a mini boss, and you got their damage to your side. So that is like really good. Like it can turn the tides of a battle, like just like that. So, well, now that's no longer the case. But and I think like I don't think this summons one. This thing is that good. This probably can't even tank one hit. Yeah, just dies. So just take the other two. Just take the unit upgrade. Like the melee weakness one. The Thunderstone, that's the melee weakness one, and the Sapstone for the sapping. if you're going with summon units. So yeah. I mean, also like for the greater good, this event is not as common anymore, so you don't get it as often as other events. But I think after this change, not having it is not that big of a problem anymore. I mean, sometimes you do want the Thunderstone or the Sapstone, but I mean, those are good. They're like cherry on the top, but they're not essential. Like you shouldn't really build around those the Thunderstone or the Sapstone. You should have your own build if they're offered to you. Very good. You're guaranteed a win. If they're not offered, you still have a chance to win. You just have to play your cards correctly. Okay, so next one. Soul Siphon no longer eligible for the Stackstone upgrade. I don't know what that does, but oh yeah, it's because the Soul Siphon, it's like you don't really want to stack that. It's the Soul Siphon is just the Ember Drain. It just doubles the Ember Drain. Doesn't have any benefits to the Soul Siphon. Okay, so units, mini bosses no longer benefit from the Ninja Training Mutator. Very important, I guess. It used to be that you can only complete this using Melting Remnant. I think you can only complete this with Melting Remnant, or with the event that kills. So there are only 2 cards in the game that can kill this. Melting Remnant, the Crushing Demise can kill the mini boss, and then this Petrified Skull can kill the mini boss. And those are the only 2, I think. Those are the only 2 cards in the whole game, I guess, that can kill the mini bosses with stealth. Otherwise, you can. I mean, it is possible to kill them with a spell weakness and then just unload a very high damage spell on it, but it's not as reliable as those 2 cards. So Melting Remnant used to be really like valued against that expert challenge, the 2 expert challenges actually. So this expert challenge, the extra pain train, Ninja Training, and then stealthiest bosses, Ninja Training, and Duality. With these 2, you have to use Melting Remnant to the Crushing Demise to kill the mini boss. So now with this change, you can actually kill the mini bosses by themselves using your units. So that is good. Thorn Hollow, sure. Whatever. It's not. I don't think it's that big of a change. I mean, it's like the dev said that it's the least picked unit. I mean, to be expected. It is used as a frontline, and it is weaker than the Awoken Hollow. So, Legion of Wax Essence Extinguish trigger changes to Revenge trigger, and Twin Wax change to Mold Wax. So this is good, I think, because you don't use the Legion of Wax Essence for anything, you would rather use the Legion of Wax himself as a unit to base your strategy on. Now you can use it. You can actually use it on as an essence. So on like any tank that doesn't have revenge triggers. So like Guard of the Unnamed. I think Lady of the Reform can also work. And then any unit that is used as a tank. Awoken Hollow, Thorned Hollow. So basically, Thorned Hollow even not, because you want the enemies to hit your thorns, your spikes, but like maybe Awoken Hollow, like just to soak up the damage, and then your units can actually just hit the enemies. So yeah, acts as a chump blocker. Lodestone Totem Essence Nail saps all enemy units but has a +2 energy cost associated with it. Yep. No problem there. Transcendent cost increased to 1 to 2. This is the most talked about change in this patch. It is really big, but I think for the Shartail Queen Imp build, you would still pick up the Transcendent. Even if you're not going Shartail Queen, you might still be able to pick up Transcendent. Just maybe pick up a False Remorse on your either first or second upgrade, and then you have enough Ember to play all your Imps. And like even if the Transcendent is cost 2, like it's still I think a must pick if you're going Imp decks. Yeah, if you're trying to go Machine Gun Transcendent, that is a strategy. You put the Queen's Impling onto Transcendent, and then and you keep on playing your Transcendent every single turn. That's the Machine Gun Transcendent deck, and then you have your other Imps as like you have your Fledgling Imps, your Armor Imp. I forget the name, but you have your like all those Imps. You have your Important Work to gain your armor back, your Fledgling Imp, your Welder Helper, your Pyre Chomper. If you have a Pyre Chomper, you like that energy increase is definitely not a problem. Alright, so Votive Key is sure. Yeah, eliminate anti-synergy with commentary spikes. Yep, sure. That is a good change. Malika Purge event. This is I don't understand this, because purging cards is actually really good. Much better than gaining health as an event. So you actually want to purge cards as much as possible. Like sometimes you don't have, like sometimes you purge all your useless cards, and then everything you want to have, like all the rest of your cards are cards that you want to have. That's really good. But this might be like, this is not, I don't think this is a change that is directed at the higher levels of play. It's more lower levels, I think. Like because if you're gaining health by taking pack shards to gain, you're gaining pack shards to gain health, which makes your next fight even harder. so you're losing more health. And then you take more pack shards to gain more health, and then your fights are even harder. So so why would you take it in the first place? Because you don't want your next fights to be harder, right? So like I don't know why this change is taking place, but sure. I mean, it's just another like for the upcoming challenge, the more pack shards you have, the better. Doesn't really matter which source it is coming from. So I might just take this because of the competition, the tournament. But like normally, you run, you don't want this challenge at all. Like, why would you want this challenge? This event, I mean. Anyways, old magic event reduced, whatever. Real of the Covenant, reduce rate. Sure. And then these two endgame events. I actually have never seen these two endgame events before this patch. So yeah. Now if I have the necessary I think if you need 150, more than 150 pack shards to trigger the event, and then if you have more than 150 pack shards, you trigger the event, and then you get Shard of Divinity, which gives you 100 armor on your pyre, or blank pages, which gives you a champion every single turn if your hand doesn't have a champion. So very, very nice there. Like, very nice. Like the blank pages will like act as like chunk blockers and just maybe some support. It's better to have it than not having it, I guess. And Shard of Divinity just gives you health, so very nice. Like, it's just like if you leak some enemies, you have the Shard of Divinity to block those damage for you. Yeah, not really gonna go over these. These are just fixes. Yeah, just text fixes, like visual fixes. So yeah, overall I think so. The Transcendent is the most relevant one. The Malika Purge event, it's the second relevant one, and then for the greater good, obviously. But other than that, yeah, I mean, it's a okay patch. Nothing. It's like buffs. Some buffs are not that good. They're not making everything OP, but the making the Transcendent 2 cost, it's fine. What I'm looking for next, so as I mentioned in the beginning of this video, what I'm wondering about changes next. Some of these cards, some of the champions that are less good in this new DLC patch. So champions like specific paths to champions. So champions, so we have seen Spine Chief got buffed. Echo Ride is OP by himself, so no need to change that. Little Fake got nerfed. Rector Flicker is a little bit bad. Like this, the burnout is not, the damage here is not that big of a deal anymore. Simply because you can't even one-shot anything. You can't even deal more than half health to anything that is buffed by the pack shards. The Reform can utility very nice. Harvest can go off, so that is really nice. But the Burn Bright is a little bit of a problem in that you have to keep the burnout, which sometimes it's not a problem, but the stats, it's not reflective of like you don't really want to burn out like if you're offered accumulator. You sometimes even you want the dark calling instead of the burn bright, because the burn bright is just stats, and right now the champions are acting more as a utility role to your units, and your units are actually doing the damage instead of the champions. Like, it's better to put the buff cards onto your units instead of your champions, because you can put quick multi-strike, sweep can be put on your units. So the units are the cards that are your main damage dealers. So this Primordium is really good. No need to worry about that. Penumbra has this path, monstrous path, has the same problem here. So architect is probably the most it's the most picked one, because the summon 4 space is really nice. Sometimes you want two levels in the archetype path, and then you have a trample just for the damage. If there's any excess damage, you can hit the enemy that is behind that enemy. You don't really there is no real necessity to go for level 3 Penumbra. Previously there was the Ember Drain deck with the only Penumbra build, but now the Penumbra is not, it doesn't offer that much damage anymore. So you can still go Ember Drain, but it's taking on a different form in that you have to use a unit instead of your Penumbra. So it's just simply better to go for the Architect instead. Soul Guard. This Titan channel has always been a problem in that 15 stacks of shards is too much. Normally you just want either 2 levels in cold channel, 1 level here, or 3 levels cold channel, 3 levels dark channel, and a mix of the 3. But these 2 you can go 3 levels in. This one never go 3 levels in. Like, sometimes you don't even want 2 levels in like, you don't want to, you never want 2 levels in that. Okay, Tessie is another very bad one. Chillwind is very good in early game to kill early game enemies, early game bosses, especially the Frostbite. It hits every single time that the boss hits you. It activates every single time on the boss's action, so that is really good. Conduit hasn't, I mean, it's utility, it's so you never go level 3, but this is it's okay, because it is something, it's okay, it's utility, whatever. Handheld Hold'em, this is also good, because the spell weakness, you can, if you start out a run with a good attack spell, so a good damage spell, you put Tessie on the bottom floor. He goes relentless against the boss, and then the boss has 2 or 3 spell weakness, and then you use your damage spell and then kills the boss in 1 shot. So that is a strategy, but there are, because of the low health totals of Tetris, it's not very good against the last divinity unless you have some sort of daze, some sort of armor, damage shield, stealth, anything that prevents damage against Tetris, and you need that turn 1. So it's a little bit of a problem. So that might, I mean, in my opinion, should be changed, but that's just my opinion. Valdenton, it's good. no real issue there. I mean, Sentient, good. Yeah. These two, I think they're good. I mean, you previously you never go level 3 on any of these. Maybe Wrathful level 3, it's pretty nice. And you would, I think, go Hornbreaker Prince level 3 with Awoken, because you want the thorns or spikes on the Hornbreaker Prince. So that is something that is a combo there. And this Reaper path, you either want 2 levels of Reaper and 1 level of Brawl, or you want 2 levels of Wrathful and 1 level of Brawl, or maybe 2 levels of Brawl and 1 level of Wrathful. That sometimes can happen because you have enough armor and enough rage build up for this to happen. And then yeah, and then you have because the Hellhorn has the Ascend, the Hidden Passage card. You put your Hornbreaker Prince on the bottom floor. You ascend him to the middle floor with your tank on the in the front, and then your tank soaks up the damage from the last divinity, and then your Hornbreaker Prince survives. I don't think this is that bad of a champion. The damage level can be a little bit underwhelming, but it's okay, I think. There is a potential of a very OP build. Some cards like Fortify, Rage Serum, Spike of the Hellhorn, Impressive, Railbeater maybe, not sure about that. Demon Fiend, most of these cards are situational, and most of these cards are very situational, but I think that is the point. The Inverted Critical Solution got changed from 0 to 1 before, and I don't think it's that good, but I mean, so there is still a place for some of these cards, but it's just very difficult to play because they're just very situational, and you want the cards that can work in more situations than you want the card that can work in less situations. Overall, okay-ish patch. Hopefully they do patch it more and they make more changes to this game. They make more streams, developer streams of this game, of Monster Train, more updates. So yeah. So for the next tournament, I will be playing the Group A, Room 2, and the tournament rules are that we would have Magic Hand Mutator, and then it'll have something to do with Wormkin, either as primary or secondary or ally clan. So I will be practicing a little bit with the Mutator on, and then some runs either as the original or the exiled version, and then same similarly with it as the allied version as well. So I will do a couple runs, and I will also make like a more informative run on Wormkin as a clan in general, and like just as a disclaimer that I'm not really that good at Wormkin. I don't think Wormkin is very fun except for the Echo-Rite. Echo-Rite is very fun, but Spine Chief is not so fun. Wormkin as allied is extremely terrible. It's so bad, just so bad as an ally clan. But still have to deal with it. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. I will see you next video on a run with Wormkin. And consider subscribing if you haven't to stay updated on the next upcoming tournament 5. If you can't catch me in the stream on Saturday, I will also upload the games on my YouTube channel. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you all in my next video. Peace.